Hello, Alekzander Shapiro here, actor of stage and screen. Have I got a movie for you today, ladies and gentlemen? Have I got a movie for you today? Summer is underway and everyone's back. Everyone's back. Dwayne Johnson, Neve Campbell, my chlamydia. 10 long years, not a single flare-up, and now today, and it's just, You know, it's true what they say. When it rains, it pours. And then it inflames. Oh, chlamydia, you are by far the worst Christmas present I ever received. But enough about that. Let's dive right into the review, shall we? The film is hot. It's exciting. It's Skyscraper. Skyscraper is a summer blockbuster starring Dwayne Johnson as veteran Will Sawyer, security analyst living with his wife and 2 kids in the Pearl, the world's tallest building. Sawyer has been brought in to work as head of security at the Pearl, till things take a turn for the toasty, and he gets caught in the crossfire of a high-octane heist and an explosive vendetta. Alright, I'm just going to say what everyone and their Bruce Willis-loving mother is saying right off the bat. Yes, it's a lot like Die Hard. But it's like Die Hard in the way that X-23 is like Wolverine. She's a clone, but she's not a clone. You know, this movie has a lot of similarities to Die Hard, but it's not identical to Die Hard. Yes, we've got a high-rise building and a guy who needs to work his way around the inside of it to save his family, but the differences here, outside of exact plot details, are in character nuance and vibe. Whereas Die Hard's vibe, and the vibe of the Die Hard franchise, is full of bravado and a rebellious type of charisma from Bruce Willis, Skyscraper takes a more internal route. It draws the strength of Will Sawyer from tenderness and deep compassion. A smart choice, I think, given that with star Dwayne Johnson, the body more than speaks for itself. When you can physically tear your enemy's body in half like a peanut butter sandwich, just... You don't need to say yippee-ki-yay. I'll tell you what, if I had a body like that, I'd get a lot more yeses at casting calls. What I like about this film is that it places such a formidable-looking man, and therefore automatically imposing character, in a position where he's just about always punching up. Whether it's the amputated leg balancing off his incredible physique, or his caring heart on his sleeve nature, putting him at a constant disadvantage in the face of cold, calculated sociopaths. First his friend, and then the crew of criminals he faces later on. It makes him honorable, and internally strong in a way that still allows us to cheer for him as the underdog. Come on. Oh, God. I don't think I've ever used my body that way. One thing I do have to go into, the scene with the crane. One of the essential pieces of marketing for this movie is also one of the most ridiculous, not-on-purpose movie moments I've ever seen. It is literally a scene that just takes you out of the movie, because you just know, no matter how internally strong this guy is, no matter how socially inappropriate it may be to say that an amputee can't do X, Y, or Z, there is still nobody who thinks a guy with 1 leg can make the jump Dwayne Johnson makes in this movie. Nobody with 2 legs can make the jump Dwayne Johnson makes in this movie. There are ballerinas that would plummet to their doom doing that shit. Just... I mean, come on, guys. Is this an action movie or the sequel to Hook? Choose one. And before anybody gets all riled up calling me a hater, I am not a hater, people. If you want to have your cool movie jump, have your cool movie jump. By all means. All I'm saying is that if you're gonna have him jump like that, he better be yelling bangarang while he does it. Just look at it from this perspective. During the movie, up until this point, the crane scene, I've only seen this character limp. Not even jog, just walk around and limp while he's walking. Now all of a sudden you have him leaping through the air like Jesse Owens at the Olympics, like Michael Jordan from the free throw line, just... You lose me. And look, I get it. I get it's supposed to be an inspiring and a powerful image to amputees around the world, to everyone. I get it. And I want them to have that moment, that movie, that feeling. But at least bring the crane 10 feet closer. I can get behind that. Just give me enough to buy it. Just enough. That's all I'm asking for. If you shoot it right, it'll still be a crap your pants moment. That stunt will sell. He is, after all, a bajillion feet above the ground. But don't make him leap the Grand Canyon and expect me to go, wow, that was a close one. Come on, come on. Now that I said all that, I do want to say that I did enjoy the action overall, quite a lot. And boys, there are a ton of physicality going on in this movie. Jumping, climbing, swinging, lifting. This film could have easily been called American Ninja Warrior. It fits. The fact that Will Sawyer is an amputee goes a long way in this film in terms of gravitas and even beyond the bigger stunts. It added a dynamic to the hand-to-hand combat scenes that made them stand out in a way that I found unique. It's that extra dimension of unpredictability, not only in a, what's going to happen if they snatch his leg sort of way, but when he does find himself in that spot, you immediately get behind him with such vigorous enthusiasm, because again, he's punching up. It grips you as an audience member because it paints whoever he's fighting as a bully in such a visceral and instantaneous way that you don't get a lot of the time, no matter how sinister the villain appears. I mean, we see villains and psychos all the time in movies, but there's something about a bully that unlocks some dormant middle school part of your psyche. Director Rawson Marshall Thurber of Central Intelligence and Dodgeball fame, love that movie, has made an effective shift into high-stakes drama here. But as someone who has seen many a Dwayne Johnson picture, I can say with confidence that this is also Dwayne Johnson's best performance since 2013's Pain and Gain, which is no small feat for an actor in his position. While it's never easy to disappear into a role, being an actor who shies away from press or high levels of exposure has its advantages in that if people don't know your true personality that well, it is easier for them to buy into your performance because they don't have a preconceived notion of what your personality is like. It's like taking your kid to see Mickey Mouse for the first time. And you're taking him to Disneyland, right? He'll believe it. But if while approaching for an autograph, he catches Mickey taking his head off and cursing out his long-distance girlfriend on FaceTime, he's gonna have some opinions on this mouse person. Will Sawyer spends a large chunk of this movie almost completely silent, and I think that worked for the movie. In fact, I would go as far as to say they could have cut even more lines, because he has a moment of dialogue that I'm pretty sure only exists to promote the duct tape industry. And that scene also shows him pulling a shard of metal the size of a steak knife from his shoulder. Now, I'm no doctor, but if I pull this out of anywhere in my body, I'm pretty sure it's game over. I am laying down and waiting for the vultures. That's what I'm doing. Small moments like that aside, this is a standout performance for Dwayne Johnson. And while I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the direction of Thurber and the effectiveness of the score in this film as an actor, you can't look past the co-star. The people you share the screen with have an immediate impact on what you give out, and while they can't necessarily make you terrible, they can definitely elevate you and bring you to a transcendent place due to their grace, their talent as a performer. And returning actor, Neve Campbell, you made the core of this movie work. You made the relationships work with your ultra-effective performance, smooth, effortless. And I bought in to you, to the family dynamic, the relationship dynamic. And yes, she kicks ass in this movie. She's no damsel in distress, is the point. But my God, I cannot stress enough. She was just good. That's what I walked away with, the pleasure of seeing two actors achieve that magical place in their performances. To produce work they can both look back on with pride. Bravo to you both. And Rock, if you would be so kind, to shout me out on Twitter. I just don't know how to. I have 7 followers. And I think they're all bots, so I could use the help. The other actors did a solid job playing their, more straightforward parts, but a standout character I wasn't too fond of was ultra cool villain girl. She looked like if Trinity had been on America's Next Top Model. The score in this film, along with the cinematography choices, made for an effective combo that not only came in to further support strong performances from its leads, but I think also did service to the film by aesthetically carrying Skyscraper into the realm of the more cinematic action films. You get the feeling they're trying to do something here with these shots. This is not going to be one of those shaky cam films with the super fast editing cuts and 1,001 setups per scene that make up most straight-to-video on-demand action films. And then the score rides alongside it, telling you this movie is going to have a strong, thematic Hollywood score to carry you through from beginning to end. That they went with this overall aesthetic approach is not surprising, considering the team behind Skyscraper was very much consciously trying to emulate action classics, among them The Towering Inferno and... do I need to say Die Hard? Well, we've gone through it, and I am recommending this movie. Bring out the mask. That's right. But I recommend you see it in theaters. I cannot stress it enough. This is a movie, this movie is the kind of movie we have high-tech theaters for. The massive image, the crazy sound system, it begs for a movie like this. You will lose something seeing this on your television, so catch this one on the silver screen. IMAX if possible. Yes, there's no doubt this film has similarities to Die Hard, but it also has plenty of its own mojo going for it, including fine performances from its leads. And for all you people losing your minds shouting about how derivative it is, that's fine. But I don't want to see you having kids. It's only fair. You don't get to say, this movie's just that movie again, and then pump out 5 kids, okay? That's subjecting us to 5 remakes of you. And I'll speak for the rest of us when I say, I'm not sure we even like the original movie. I'm giving you sass right now. That's what this is. I don't know if you can tell. Oh. Is that how it goes? Forget it. This has been To See or Not to See. I'm Alekzander Shapiro, and I will see you next time.